Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is out tonight. I'm Jefferson Robbins. We've got a lot of news for you tonight. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And you can see from that what a beautiful day it has been. This is our Turtle Rock cam looking up the Columbia River. This is what you're going to see for the next several days. Dry, clear, very, very hot, depending on your preferences. 90s, 97 and thereabouts for tomorrow, and 90s throughout the entire week throughout the Wenatchee Valley. You're talking about a nice dry heat, no sign of rain anywhere in the picture. Hopefully it'll be a cool 97 as opposed to the other kind of 97 where you really just want to lie down and not move for a while. Now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. 2 negligence lawsuits against the Wenatchee School District end with $120,000 in settlements. A mapping effort to find every public Wi-Fi hotspot in the Wenatchee Valley is underway. And masking up becomes mandatory for the Washington County most heavily plagued by COVID-19. First, we begin tonight, though, with a Wenatchee woman in court fighting to keep her 5-year-old daughter from being returned to the child's father in Saudi Arabia. Bethany Vieira Al-Haidari has struggled in the Saudi courts to retain custody amid her divorce from her Saudi husband. Now living back in Chelan County, she was in court today asking Judge Kristen Ferreira to maintain and enforce the child's residency here in the United States. Her lawyer, Scott Vollen, argued that because Saudi guardianship laws overwhelmingly favor Muslim men over non-Muslim women, the custody granted to Vieira's husband in the Saudi courts should be struck down.
A tribunal in Saudi Arabia dealing with child custody where the mother is an American citizen, as is the child, and the father is a Saudi citizen, is hardly an impartial tribunal, and the court has pointed out that were my client to return now, that she would be subject to imprisonment and or death. And there's a fair amount of information consistent with that claim.
Bethany Vieira, who studied human rights as a PhD candidate before her marriage, also addressed the court today.
It is not Sharia law or Islamic law in itself that is problematic, or is that question in this case. There's countless diverse interpretations of Islamic law that exist, and some of those interpretations protect and uphold human rights, while some interpretations simply do not. It is specifically the Saudi government's rigid and discriminatory interpretation and implementation of Islamic law that is dangerous in question here. Your Honor, I am not alone in arguing that the male guardianship system and the kafala system, which is the system of sponsorship of foreigners in Saudi Arabia, are modern forms of slavery, and that they are part and parcel of Saudi custody law. Saudi Arabia has made superficial reformations to male guardianship laws, but as Human Rights Watch has correctly asserted, these reformations have failed to address the core issues of gender discrimination, which remain fully intact at present. The mere notion that any modern form of slavery should be reformed in itself is offensive. It merits nothing more than being abolished and condemned.
Ferreira said she'd consider the major points of the case, including a contempt of court request against Vieira's former husband, at a later hearing. In the meantime, mother and daughter remain together in Wenatchee. Well, 2 of the Wenatchee students assaulted by a fellow student athlete on a 2014 football bus trip have settled their long-running lawsuits with the school district. The family of one of the students, who have since graduated, will receive $85,000. The other family, $40,000. The lawsuits were triggered by the WHS football team's chartered bus trip to and from Spokane in September 2014, during which a 14-year-old student assaulted multiple fellow players and students under the guise of horseplay. He was initially charged with second-degree rape, but later pleaded guilty in juvenile court to third-degree assault. The youth had been allowed to ride on the bus despite being ineligible to play at the time. He was also on court supervision for assaulting another student the previous school year. There was only one coach on the bus, despite district guidelines that called for 2 or more supervisors. The families originally filed claims against the school district for $1.5 million each. A third student's claim against the school district is still going forward in the courts. A 22-year-old Quincy man was killed Friday morning after a tire blew out on his 2003 Honda Accord while he was driving at a high rate of speed about 5 miles outside of Ephrata. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said Augustine Gallegos Jr. was driving on Road 9 Northwest, near Road H Northwest, when the tire blew. The car went off the roadway and rolled 2.5 times before coming to rest on its top. He was not wearing his seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle. Gallegos died at the scene. The sheriff's office said it is not known yet if drugs or alcohol were a factor. Well, the Wenatchee Valley's Technology Association wants your help mapping the areas of public Wi-Fi hotspots to help kids keep up with their online schoolwork. GWATA says it wants to identify all the local hotspots that students could use when school is not in session and they don't have online access at home. They're asking for volunteers to help map the sites and get information about them out into the communities in both English and Spanish. The effort aims to cover all 29 school districts in the area. GWATA has carried out other such Wi-Fi efforts, like purchasing 50 mobile hotspots for the North Central Regional Library System back in April. Partners in this new project include the Wenatchee School District and Our Valley, Our Future. Well, coming up next, preliminary hearings in the long-running case of an Okanogan County murder suspect. And Yakima County residents must now go masked everywhere in public by order of the governor. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Aging and Adult Care offers many in-home care options and services for seniors and family caregivers. But did you know they also offer free in-home delivered meals? Aging and Adult Care has expanded its program for home-delivered meals to help elderly and vulnerable adults at this challenging time. If you are in need of prepared meals or know someone who could benefit, call Aging and Adult Care for more information about free home-delivered meals. Call 509-886-0700.
Uh-oh.
What?
I think I forgot to lock my Buick.
Parallel parking.
That hot yoga was so hot. Check this out. Cooling seats?
Alexa, ask Buick to start my SUV.
You can do that.
You can do that?
You can't do that.
You can with the Buick.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you.
Looking for a faster way to kickstart your business career? Look to the Charter College Associate Degree in Business Management, a convenient online program at an ABHES-accredited institution. You could earn a degree in just 14 months, a degree that positions you for up to 18% higher earnings than a high school diploma. Plus, Charter will assist you in finding a job. Visit chartercollege.edu to get started, because we work to get you to work.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. There's some movement in an Okanogan County murder case. Like nearly every other criminal case since the pandemic began, the murder trial of Lance Robert Bowers has been on hold since he was charged in November with the gruesome death of his wife in Okanogan County. But now there's some movement in the case, as lawyers were scheduled today to argue over whether to combine the murder of Angela M. Bowers with prior charges of assault and illegal firearm possession. Angela Bowers' body was found in the trunk of a burning car in June 2019. That same day, Okanogan County Sheriff's deputies confronted Lance Bowers on Aeneas Road and non-fatally shot him while trying to make an arrest. He was held for months on the assault and handgun charges before his wife's body was identified, and he was formally arraigned for her murder. Under current court rules on COVID-19, he's unlikely to go to trial before autumn. An 84-year-old Moses Lake man was killed in a two-vehicle accident Friday afternoon on Highway 17 outside Moses Lake. The Washington State Patrol said Delbert Chase was driving his 2009 Silverado pickup westbound just after noon on Road 2 when he failed to yield the right-of-way, pulling onto Highway 17 and collided with a northbound semi, being driven by Trevor Renstrom of Garfield. Chase later died at Samaritan Hospital in Moses Lake. A passenger in his vehicle, 82-year-old Jacqueline Chase, also was transported to the hospital with minor injuries. Renstrom was not injured. While saying Yakima County has the highest per capita COVID-19 cases in the western United States and more than all of the state of Oregon, Governor Jay Inslee said Saturday he will be issuing an order this week requiring all residents to wear a face covering when in public. Yakima County reported 208 new cases last Friday, the county's second largest one-day number since the pandemic began. The county health district said Saturday hospitals have started exceeding staffing capacity. The county has had more than 6,200 cases of the virus and 138 deaths. Inslee said the face covering order is not optional.
In the next few days, I will issue a proclamation mandating requiring facial coverings in public spaces in Yakima County. This is a legal requirement. It is not just a suggestion. And that is required if we are going to prevent this disaster from overtaking this beautiful valley. And it is a beautiful valley. I advise local leaders that will give them a few days to get ready while we put the finishing touches on the legally enforceable order that we will be issuing. Now, all of us have some role to play in this, including business leaders. So under this legally requirement, businesses will be legally required not to sell products or services to those who are not in compliance with this requirement. And for them to legally operate, they are going to need to adhere to them. So that essentially means no mask, no service, and no mask, no goods.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up, the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center has been closed since March 9th, but Dave Tosh, the executive director of the center, says they're taking their first small steps toward reopening. Dan Kuntz has that story, plus sports and weather, next on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Owner Andrew Vickery brings years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spas, both new and used, as well as residential and commercial pool and spa services, regular maintenance and repairs, and all the chemicals required to keep your pool and spa crystal clear. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz stepping into the studio on behalf of Jefferson Robbins, who's filling in for Grant Olson, who isn't doing his job. The Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center Wenatchee, of course, has been closed since the early outbreak of the pandemic, all the way back on March 9th. That was the early days of the COVID-19 outbreak. But the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center took its tiniest little steps to reopen back to normalcy a little bit. Anyway, Dave Tosh is the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and he joined me in a recent edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley to talk about the reopening of the thrift shop.
Well, we made the decision yesterday at our monthly board meeting that we would reopen our thrift store on Monday, the 22nd. So we got a few more days to go here, and we will have our thrift store reopened, and you're going to notice a few changes. We're going to expand it into some other areas that we haven't used before because the space is idle. as the rest of the senior center will remain closed. And so we will have a handle on everything come Monday morning in terms of asking people to wear masks, maintain the social distancing, but we have spread things out a bit, and we think that we'll be able to fit quite a few customers into the thrift store and make it hospitable for everybody.
That's really fantastic news, and I know, having been to the thrift store any number of times, it was kind of crammed in there a little bit. You had a lot of stuff crammed into not a lot of square footage, so by being able to actually practice safe social distancing and a 6-foot mask and everything, you actually are going to be able to maybe have a more enjoyable shopping experience.
We hope so, and we will have one entryway, we'll have one exit way, and the donations that used to come in through the main entryway will now be received on the side of the building. And we think by spreading all of that out, that will also aid in keeping the distancing that we need. And obviously, we have older employees, we have older volunteers. The bulk of the folks are over age 65, so we've got to be careful here, and that's one of the reasons we've kind of moved a little bit slow once we got word that we could reopen with 50% of normal capacity.
Friendly reminder, it is the very first week of summer, and for the next 2 or 3 days, it's going to feel like summer, even really into the back half of the week before we cool down for the weekend. We got the complete forecast details are coming up. But first, a look outside of our weather window. That is, I believe, Wenatchee, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, I think I can see Dave Tosh's house. No, Dave lives in Kashmir. Beautiful day today. Lots of sunshine, very warm. For the record, we hit 80 on Saturday and 84 on Sunday. We'll give you the complete almanac in just a little bit, but that's what we're looking at. Nothing but blue skies and sunshine, and boy, are we going to climb up that temperature ladder. Just go ahead and take a look at that almanac for this 22nd day of July. 90 today. Yeah, that's above normal. Right around 79 or 80 would be our normal high for this time of the year. 60 for the overnight low last night. As you can see, that record high. Whoo! That was a scorcher way back in 1992. I don't remember that year very well. Overnight low of 43 for the record low. We're not going to get anywhere near that. No rain at all today, as you might imagine. Precipitation to date, 2.66 inches of rain. And we're still in these long days. Now, I know the days are going to slowly get shorter, but I mean really slow. We still had 15 hours and 58 minutes of daylight today. We'll have 15 hours and 58 minutes of daylight tomorrow. The sunrise is just a little bit later than normal, 5:04, but the sunset's also just a little bit later than normal at 9:04 tonight, or 9:02 tonight. So yeah, the lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer are with us. Now, as far as what we're looking at for temperatures, these are high temperatures that we're going to be looking at over the next 48, 24 hours or so. As we zoom in, as you can see, hot. Moses Lake 97, 96 out in the basin in Ephrata. Quincy at 96 here in Wenatchee. 97 degrees expected tomorrow. Kashmir warm. Even the places that we normally assume would be a little bit cooler, Lake Wenatchee Plain up in the Omak area, because they get, they have more forest, they get less direct sunlight. Still going to be very, very warm pretty much wherever you go. Tomorrow, without question, is going to be the hottest day of the year. They're going to cool down just a little bit, and what's going on is essentially that we have a flat pressure ridge. Normally, when we have a dome of high pressure, it keeps any kind of weather system from coming out and joining us. But this is a flat weather system, which means there's going to be a weak little trough of air that's going to come down. It's going to still make us quite warm. As you can see, 97 on Tuesday. It's going to be hot. But we're going to cool down a little bit, only 89 on Wednesday, because we're going to have just a little bit of wind in the afternoon as this weak little trough comes in. 89 is cooler, but it's still pretty hot. We're a little worried about drying out on those grasses. We don't want to see those grasses and the sage dry out. That could be trouble, because we're going to go right back to sunny and warm conditions. A little breezy on Friday, and then a fairly significant change coming our way over the weekend, as there's a weak trough that's going to come down from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to usher in some cool air, a little breezier, actually much comfortable for a lot of people. 84 our forecast high, as you can see, on Saturday, and Sunday cooler still with a high of only 81, which is really back down to normal. So very, very warm today. A little bit cooler, but not much on Wednesday. Little wind expected tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon, and a little bit more on Wednesday, but really not that much on Tuesday. Wednesday, probably the windiest day. Then we have a little bit more wind expected on Friday and Saturday, but we're going to cool down. So if you don't have any air conditioning, you're in good shape, all right? We're going to be all right. Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a hug. Watch out for the van there. And that's what we're looking at. Sunny and warm today, and just plain hot on Tuesday, hottest day of the year. We have been in the 90s before. We're going to be in the 90s today and tomorrow. Look at that overnight low. The blanket will be on 67. That's all we're going to get to tomorrow night. And then again, as I mentioned before, a little bit of a cool wind coming down. It's going to cool us down to only about 89 or 90 on Wednesday. We use only as a relative sense. It's still going to be warm. 93, a skosh warmer on Thursday. Friday night is when that system comes rolling in that we talked about from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to cool us down with just a little bit of a breeze. In fact, Saturday and Sunday feel like sunny and warm but not hot. A very pleasant weekend coming our way, our first full weekend of summer for 2020. That's a look at your weather forecast. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes with your Monday sports.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales,
where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in North Central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
This is Caitlin Hedersheet, the producer of the NCWLIFE magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCWLIFE magazine right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel. Good Monday to you. Eric Granstrom is taking a well-deserved 3-day Father's Day weekend. I'm Dan Kuntz. Let's talk about sports in a very sobering scene on Sunday. This is what the sports world is talking about. A noose was found in the garage stall of Bubba Wallace. This was at the Talladega Motor Speedway in Alabama on Sunday. This was less than 2 weeks after Wallace, who was the only African-American driver on the NASCAR circuit, successfully pushed the stock car racing entity to eliminate the Confederate flag at its tracks and facilities. Wallace apparently never actually saw the news. This is according to Marty Smith of ESPN. It was first seen by a member of Wallace's crew who immediately contacted NASCAR officials. This is all according to Marty Smith. NASCAR told Fox Sports it will work with law enforcement on the incident. Bubba Wallace drives the number 43 Chevrolet for Richard Petty Racing, and he said in a statement, I'm quoting now, he was, quote, incredibly saddened by the act. That is the statement from NASCAR last night, and I'm quoting, late this afternoon, NASCAR was made aware that a noose was found in the garage stall of the 43 team. We are angry and outraged and cannot state strongly enough how seriously we take this heinous act. It continues, we have launched an immediate investigation and will do everything we can to identify the person or persons responsible and eliminate them from the sport. As we have stated unequivocally, there is no place for racism in NASCAR, and this act only strengthens our resolve to make the sport open and welcoming to all. much better racing news. We're going to make television history come Saturday night. We're really excited about it. It is the first race of the year of the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Now, a friendly reminder, the Super Oval will not be open to the general public. The television crews will be there. The racing officials will be there. Obviously, the cars and the drivers and the crew pits will be there. And our cameras will be there this Saturday, June 27th. It's a full night of auto racing. You got the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late models. You got the Dix Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder cars, the Plum Perfect Roadrunners, and the Bandoleros. Again, no fans will be allowed to attend. So if you're ready for some action at the WVSO, you'll be able to watch it here and only here on the NCWLIFE channel on Saturday night. We'll take to the air at 6 o'clock. Of course, the Wenatchee Wild can't play or even practice during the pandemic, but that hasn't stopped their social media account from recognizing some local heroes off the ice. If you know of an essential worker who's braving the crisis, they want you to send their name right over to the Wenatchee Wild, and they'll give those folks a shout out on their Twitter page and on their Facebook page. Former Wild forward Nick Caffarelli, who's going to be playing hockey at the University of New Hampshire, explained how this effort works.
Hey everyone, the Wenatchee Wild would like to recognize all the essential workers in the community during this tough time. We know it's been extremely difficult these past few months, but the essential workers have done a great job keeping everything together and keeping everything running safely and smoothly. And for that, we'd like to honor them properly. So please send in your nominations to the Wenatchee Wild email or the social media page, and we will get to honoring our essential workers immediately. Thank you guys, and continue to stay safe and healthy.
For you folks with a Twitter handle, the hashtag is #ThankYouEssentialWorkers when submitting their nominee by Facebook or Twitter. You can also send your nominations via email to wenwild1@gmail.com. And while I have you here, a little shop talk. Join me tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll have the latest news, the latest sports, that very warm weather forecast. And in case you missed our show on Friday, I had a chance to go gardening with the Dirt Diva, Bonnie Orr. It is summertime. Of course, we want to keep your yard and garden happy and healthy through the heat of summer. Bonnie will have all the tips that you need to know on tomorrow morning's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And that's sports on this Monday. Jefferson, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. It was good to see you shade for that segment. Very professional looking. Finally from us tonight, 300,000 plastic tubes were sent to Washington State by FEMA, and they were meant to hold samples for COVID-19 testing, but they turned out to be useless. ProPublica reports the tiny Texas company Filikit sold the government plastic tubes made for bottling sodas instead. They're useless for virus testing. But Filikit sent them to FEMA, which then sent them to health departments all over the country. Filikit's contract with the U.S. government stands to pay the company more than $10 million. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or on our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call, 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. I'll see you here tomorrow night. Thanks.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
In a world afraid of technology, one man, one show.
We'll bring you the newest innovations that may just change your life. This summer, Ray McNeil, and your Weekly Tech Update is your Weekly Tech Update with Ray McNeil.